Okay, so next thing we're going to talk about is the stance in the squat. So you can either go for a wide stance or a narrow stance. And basically that all depends on how much weight you put on yourself and also how flexible you are. The less flexible you are, the more likely it will be that you're going into a bit more of a wider stance. The more flexible you are, the tighter or narrower the stance can be and should be. So I'm not really the most flexible person myself, so I really had to work hard to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And then to actually improve my squat and also the movement patterns within it. Now, once you are comfortable with all range of motions with the stance, then it becomes a bit of a game of how much load do I actually want to move. Because usually what you can see is that powerlifters prefer to a bit of a wider stance because that gives them a wider base to put more weight upon it. So if you want to go very heavy, most likely you will opt for a bit of a wider rather than a narrower stance. And the third thing to mention about the stance is that you always want your feet to point slightly outwards and not to be parallel. So you always want them to be a bit at an angle, because when they're a bit at an angle, you make it easier for your knees to actually travel over your feet rather than having them parallel. And then you are actually set up at a disadvantage for the entire kinetic chain and make it harder for you to squat to full depth. So by going a bit outside, you basically create a little cradle where you can squat into when you want to squat deep as to grass, which we come to also later.